Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is it. This is big. This is an exciting day, I think, for everyone. This is the Pure League Season 2 Premiership Grand Finals. This is going to be Kids News Network versus Potato Photo. I am eepily, someone probably completely unknown to the vast majority of you. I come from the dizzy lands of Europe, but I'm here to cast some fantastic Asian TF2 gameplay. I'm going to be joined today with Rednaxela. Did I just butcher your name?
No, you got it pretty right.
No, about right. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good, pretty good. We're going to be here with Concorde as well and Core on production, and I think we've got ourselves a banger of a best of 5.
Indeed, this will be the two juggernauts of Division 1 Premiership. I'm sorry. And these teams, they've been the one who is dominant throughout the seasons. Kids News Network, otherwise known as Xiao, they've been dominating. They don't lose a match so far in the regular season, coming towards the final, and they are most definitely the favorites. Meanwhile, in Potato Photo, their only losses is to Kids News Network. So we'll have to see if they'll rectify their past mistakes and rebound to potentially win the Premiership Grand Finals.
Yeah, I mean, it's hopefully get a close game tonight. That's what I really am looking forward to. We've seen them clash before. We've seen the potato players actually, not win against the Kid News Network. So hopefully tonight they can pull something out because it's going to be all or nothing for the grand final. See who gets to bring home that golden medal.
I think it's definitely whenever you have a best of 5, and whenever it's teams that have placed against each other before, regardless of whether it's been like a win or a loss, and even you can even have pretty dominating situations where one team was just like 5-0-5-0 team, when they then fight each other in an actual best of 5, like teams have had time to prepare a lot better, right? You know, they understand where the losses came from, how to, maybe counter some of the players they're specifically going against. You've also got in a best of 5 so many more different maps to play with, so there's so much more kind of map knowledge and specific map dependent strengths they can work with. We are actually going to be seeing Process followed by Snakewater, Sunshine, Product, and Reckoner. So we've got quite the variety of different maps and quite a few opportunities to potentially see. I mean, I'm gonna say maybe an upset. I assume most people are kind of thinking that Kids News Network are going to be the favorites, but perhaps not by too much.
Yeah, definitely. These maps, you can count them as classic maps for the Asian region. Process, Snakewater. These are the maps that teams, again, like you said, have knowledge about. They've been playing this around in pugs, in scrims, and it'll definitely be interesting to see on how they prepare, especially towards their past histories. That being said, we haven't actually talked about the roster yet. So if you want, eepily, check out the Kids News Network rosters.
Yeah, see, this is probably the easier one for me. With it's a slightly more publicized in terms of European roster because of recent events. So I believe we have Aishu and TJ on scouts, Banana and 26 on soldiers. I believe 26 is on the pocket role, Enrith on demo, and Locke's going to be on medic. So this roster is something which we've heard quite a lot of things about. Like I said, they've been pretty dominating this season from the sounds of things. And they've got some serious talent from both Asia and Australia.
Yeah, especially this was the roster that was supposed to go to land, but due to recent events, did not. But that does not turn down this juggernaut of a roster. These arguably the roster that is besides Potato Photo, has the most experience. Aisho and TJ, they are monsters on scout. 26 and Banana, you said they might 26 might go on pocket, and Banana, of course, he has been on sniper, he's on roam sometimes, but you can't be sure with these two. Enrit, a very good demo on the Australian side. Lock as well. This team is basically what the two regions, if they were to merge with each other, the best of the best. So Alex, if you want to dissect the Korean roster, if you will.
I'm gonna try my best. I've been out of the loop for quite a bit, but these are all pretty familiar names that we've all seen before. We've got Larky, we've got the other scout, what's his name? Baxter. We've got the Pocket Solly Nev, we've got the Roaming Solly Daylight, all very familiar names, Harsh, as well as Janice coming back on the medic role as well. We've all seen them play before. Larky's a phenomenal scout, constantly flanking those corners and just picking off players when they least expect it. Baxter, of course, always there to support his teammates as well as Larky when the need arises. Daylight constantly flying across the map, so I'm definitely going to be looking forward to that. Nev is going to be on Pocket Solly. I don't think I've seen Nev play before. I may be wrong, but I'm generally looking forward to see how they perform on all these 5. Hopefully, we get to see 5 maps because I think tonight's gonna be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I reckon. I don't know. I always feel like when it comes to a best of 5, the first map is really, really important, right? Dictating it kind of dictates the pace of what's going to happen from here on out. If one team can get like a really, really solid map win, that makes things not only more comfortable from them, but it gives them like a really big confidence boost. And the fact that we're starting with Process, a map which it can be played really slow, but it can be played really fast as well. Like you can go from mid wins straight to last and just rack up a couple rounds really, really easily.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But you can also play things super slow. You know, you see all kind of crazy stuff historically on Process. You like, including literally like heavy and sniper mid and stuff like that. If you do want to play a much slower kind of pace, and I feel like it's going to be a good little kind of testing ground. You know, losing the first map isn't the be all and end all, but it is significant for you to try and get an idea of how to get in the game if you do go that one map down. So I'm pretty happy with starting with Process.
Once a wise man once said in esports, usually best of 5 is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Like you said, it's about knowing, testing grounds, see what you're comfortable with. And with Process, the one aspect I want to show is the projectile classes being the shining light here, because we know Process is a very open map. It also gave up a very large sightline, so flex picks, off classes, soldiers roaming around, demos as well. So it'll be up to the damage dealing classes to really turn the tides either way.
Yep, and we are going to be going live off the bat. We're going to see the blue players reaching mid about slightly early compared to the players from kidz Network, and then we're going to see the onslaught going to start to begin. Scouts going to be jumping about, Solid going to gain the high ground and dropping back down. Just going to see the red side trying to see if they can inch their way forward to get that high ground. Both teams not too keen on clashing as of yet, though. Going to see the first blood is going to be coming up for the side of Potato Photo. The 2 Sollies just down off the bat. A scout going down not too long after, and they're just not giving them any breathing room. They're just constantly going in. Deep bomb coming up from Tommy and just picking up the medic, and that's pretty much a full wipe off the bat on this first mid fight.
Yeah, that was really, really decisive from the side of kidz Network. They were so content to play super slow there. They knew that these soldiers on the side of the Potato Photo team weren't going to be full committing, you know? They just chilled, played around their medic, really solid stuff. They even want to see if they can try and spawn down just a little bit. Locks actually managed to find himself just a little bit caught in here based on the sniper on the side of blue. He's actually just about getting his EV. He does have to use, but it's not quite capped second. But this is really scary just on the side of Potato Photo. They're all being caught completely towards spawn. No one's really towards point. If they can just start playing onto this, it's going to be a really fast round for kidz Network. Now the scouts are suddenly trying to move forward. Using medic on the side, but it's only 2 players remaining. This is going to be near Herculean. It's not going to be happening. That's going to be the first round to kidz Network.
I mean, that went by extremely quickly. A little under 2 minutes, and first point already in the hands of the kidz Network. Holy crap.
Yeah, like, it's exactly what we said, you know? If you can have a commanding, really strong mid into a strong last, like, you can just rack up these rounds. You really want to see Potato Photo now try something just a little bit different. You know, 2 minutes in, they already need to try and mix things up a little bit on this mid.
Yep, we're going to see the Korean players coming in, but they're going to be a little bit clumped up, and the players for the side of the kidz that were just collapsing onto them, picking up 3 players already. Aisha, the only one down for the side of the red team, and they just have absolutely no choice just to back out. Just the medic and the scout. We're going to see a banana out for even more blood, already jumping in through rollout. trying to see if he can chase them down, jumping right through, but is going to have to back out through the boiler room. And does look like the medic is going to survive this time around. Janet's going to hold on to that Uber charge. It's going to make things a little bit more difficult, but they are just going to have to be holding on to their last point. No off-classing as of yet though, but they are going to have that Uber charge up very, very soon.
Yep, so that mid definitely, it was a little bit better on the side of Potato Photo. They committed a little bit harder. They didn't play into the slow game of Kidz News Network. That was really, really important. But even still, they didn't get enough mileage off their bombs. They weren't really able to take any space at all. As a result, it's only really Janus managing to live and maintaining his Uber that allows them any in on this round at all. Now, they have managed to pick up Banana as well, so this is a bit of an opportunity, but it's so difficult to try and get a solid, consistent sack onto second point on process. You're playing from such a height disadvantage the majority of the time. It's usually, you're going to be expecting, you know, they've got to miss their opportunity a little bit, looking for some kind of off-class, possibly a spy, a sniper, something along those lines.
Yeah, Banana looks like he's going to be coming in through the boiler room after all the scouts just collapsing into Lucky, just circling around. Banana's going to be coming up inside Secret though, just hanging about up top, and there the Solid Daylight going to see if he can finish him off, just tossing out those rockets, but Banana makes it out barely by the skin of his teeth, 6 health. Centrigon is still going to be up to the side of the Potato Photo players. Uber is not yet top though, both sides still holding on to it. The engineer just doing a bang-up job of keeping up the 7th man for the team. And the Kidz News Network players just hanging about inside boiler. Daylight jumping straight in onto Lock though, getting that beautiful force. This is gonna put the ad back in the hands of the Potato Photo, but they're just walking in, picking up the sentry gun. Scott just staying on the point, popping that Uber. Not even stopping the cat.
Oh, what a disaster! That was a complete misread of the situation. They committed both soldiers to get that force exit, fantastic. But then they didn't actually have consistent stickies on point. They couldn't actually jump that scat away. They were so intent on milking that Uber that they just lost control of the point. Oh, that's a disaster.
Sorry there. I mean, Potato Photo looks so flustered on that both rounds. They don't have any answer to Kidz News Network's aggressiveness both rounds.
We got some valiant attempts though coming up for the side of Potato Photo. We got the both Solis trying to bomb in and get the pick down into the mid. Brings him down to 39 health, but no one else able to follow that up. Both scouts alive for the side of Potato Photo, but they've got no choice but to back out. They don't have any flying classes. The Soli, the demo, they went down, and they are just going to have to hang back and hold back on second. Does look like they intend to try to push in a little bit, but Lucky's in alone. Teammates slowly streaming in behind him, but I don't really think they're in a good position for to attempt anything with this.
No, I mean, it's a valiant attempt. Like, you peek and prod, you see if there's someone you can try and possibly pick off, and down to get in. Actually, we see a soldier jump straight in all the way into Janus, but no, he's milking. Not going to be using there. That's super important there. At least maintain a little bit of control here, and I think he can be just a little bit in the driver's seat. Each time we're seeing an iteration of this mid, they're getting slightly better, but I mean, they got to keep on moving things forward, try and get themselves some of their own advantages, so they can start getting some rounds on the board.
Yeah, so right now it's just going to be a bit of a standoff. As I say, that Sully just jumped straight in, but he's going to get absolutely piped out of the sky. We're going to see Harsh just get tickled down with the scatter shots from across the map, and yeah, the Potato Photo players have no choice but to back all the way out. Second point just easily into the hands of the Kidz News Network players. Banana once again just extending all the way forward, trying to see if he can get anything done. Solly's going to be eating so much damage, has no choice but to pop to save his teammate. And we're going to see Locke going to pop his as well. This is not going to be good for the side of the Potato Photo players. We're going to see a Solly jumping forward to see if he can defend it for his team. But somehow, they're just keeping it up. Janus with a beautiful serve to safety, but Solly's still going to be right there. But yeah, it does seem like they're going to be able to bully the players of Kidz News Network out from their last.
That was super scary if you're on the side of Potato Photo. There was about 2 or 3 opportunities there where Kidz News Network could have just secured the deal, but just about through dodging and dipping and diving, they managed to keep themselves alive on the Potato Photo side. So solid. Well, I say solid. I mean, they're going to be happy to have held that, right? And now they want to see if they can contest second as well. Try and take this a little bit for free. This is going to be off Uber, and it is a good opportunity. But they've got to be really aware of this spawn coming in very soon. And the fact that, I mean, Kidz News Network, they really seem to want to try and commit. They are trading frags already. There's not quite a cap going out. There's a lot of these players towards grass. This is kind of scary for both teams. Surely that frag issue going down, it will be Kidz News Network. Yeah, they will have to back out now straight to mid. Losing 3 players, getting a little bit over aggressive there. They'll probably have to lose mid now as well.
Yep, good to see the players for the side of Potato Photo just inching away forward. But we're going to see that the kidz that we're trying to see if they hold as long as they can. Scout's going to be right there. They've got their Uber charge as well, so it doesn't like want to just push straight on through. Both Ubers are going to get popped on this mid. Janus going to see if he can body block TJ from doing any damage against his non-shiny friend. Banana going to be jumping forward. Going to see Banana and Tommy just flying clean across the map. Daylight going to be right there. Can he get the air shot? Banana going to crater instead. But the Scouts are just going to start picking up players one by one. Harsh going to get caught out as well. And just despite all that, they're just going to get pushed all the way back to last.
That was an absolute confidence play from the side of Kidz News Network. They went for that solo trade with TJ, not to do anything regarding the Ubers, really. That was just a pure delay to get their spawners in. Those 3 spawners came in, and you saw how much mileage they got off that. They took the scrappy fights. Now they're straight at last, and they're standing on point! Just cack it out from underneath them again. This is really, really good fundamentals from Kidz News Network.
Yeah, I mean, the Korean players seem to be afraid of standing on the point when there's someone there. I mean, if you stand on it, the cat kind of stops, so
It does.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
It does.
Oh boy. Another mid fight gonna be on the way. Solly's gonna be reaching mid pretty early. Banana's gonna right there to get some damage down to Daylight, but the mid is gonna bring him back up into the healthy range. Banana gonna get the high ground for his team. Gonna see a high block coming out from the Sollies of Potato, but both of them are gonna be really low. Daylight gonna get the health pack. They do pick up 2 players from the side of the kidz News Network. Daylight gonna get taken out instead, and it's just gonna be the blue players actually gonna get this mid this time.
Yeah, like I said, every single mid they're playing, they're getting just a little bit better. This time, it seems like they can try and take at least some initial control. Picking up that scout now, TJ going down. Okay, that will secure them this mid fight now. You saw how much Kidz News Network, they wanted to go straight to that choke point, take some of these scrappy fights again, but one little frag is going to make all the difference. Now it's going to be equal Ubers. There's 1 scout missing on the side of Kidz News Network. There will be the opportunity to try and send someone in for some kind of sack, some kind of attempt, and we do see Soldier jumping straight on in.
Ooh.
1 rocket towards Lost, but no. Crispy little surfs. No mileage for you, sir.
Yep, they are going to be picking up quite a few players on the side of Potato Photo. The Banana's going to come in from the IT side. Spots the Devil May get some juicy damage. Going to see if they can finish anyone off, but they're just effortlessly pushing them all the way back to second. Not even an Uber trade or anything to see if they can stand their ground.
Yeah, I was gonna say, definitely. It feels like if it was Kidz News Network on the receiving end of that push, they would have just gone for that trade. You know, go for those spawns. But you actually see. Oh my God, dude, you didn't even hit that rocket. I thought for sure that hit. Okay, dude, Janus is a god.
Banana just tries his best, but slips on his own peel. We're gonna see one of the Sollies for the side of the Potato Photo is trying to see if he can get anything done through the sewers, but he's just gonna toss out some rockets and back out. The players for the side of Kidz News Network does look like they want to start walking in. They've got the Uber charge, so they don't really have that much to fear. They're 2 players up with Daylight just spawning in right now, so they can see if they can do something about this. We're gonna see Nev just jumping straight down, trying to get the force, but there's gonna be an early pop coming out from the side of the Potato Photo, and a slightly better Uber coming out for the side of the Kidz News Network players. Larky's gonna eat a bit of spam, but he's gonna be fine, and everyone's just gonna start backing up to last once again.
Yeah, another super clean little push. It's really showing right now Kidz News Network are just, they're so solid in how they're playing. They're playing not only well, but with confidence, right? And you can see, take their photo, they're not playing with anywhere near the same level of confidence. They're not quite sure how to treat each situation. Again, this is Texas going towards full. This is so disastrous for Potato Photo. They're so uncomfortable at last. I don't think I've ever seen a team this uncomfortable holding last. They're always so scared of losing frags that they'll just play super far back, but you can't really do that on Process. Even when it's even, you have to play super close. Even with like a player or 2 down, you don't have much of a choice, because the second you deny them that space, that gives you some breathing room. When you let them start walking through these doorways, that's it.
This is it. Match point already 0-4. Oh my God, this is a bit of a unexpected situation we have going on now, gents.
Yeah, no heals for the side of Potato Photo, and Larky tries his, sorry, not Larky, Baxter tries his very best to do something, and they're just all going to be dropping like flies. No heals at the front lines equals to easy frags for the side of Kidz News Network. That's going to be full Uber rat as well into the hands of the Kidz News Network, so this may be an easy last point push.
It's going to be a scary one on the side of Potato Photo. You don't want to lose your first map of a best of 5 in like 13 minutes, right? Like that's That's going to be hitting the old egos hard. You see Kids News Network, right? I love to see this. So they know that they basically wiped the enemy team there, right? They know that there's basically going to be no one alive, and yet they're still checking every single corner. They're playing really, really methodically. They don't want any random player which people have forgot about to be forcing lock. It's really, really solid, and it's something which they're consistently doing now. They've got this big old Uber advantage, moving towards lobby. They should be in just about any second now. All they need is just one solid entry frag or so, getting decent position. They should be able to take down this gun. No stickies towards point again, which means they can immediately start tickling things and start dragging some of these players towards the point. But it is Aishu's going to be the first frag. Somehow Tommy jumps in, picks up Janus, and a second.
Ooh, yeah, Tommy just came in from secret to pick them off, and I guess they were too focused on the point once again. Tommy just flanked about and picked them off. This somehow being able to defend this though. They've still got 2 solids up in the scout, make that 1 solid in the scout up, but yeah, they're not going to be able to do much on the point. Larky trying his very best. Larky coming up for his team.
Oh!
Jesus!
Oh.
No!
No way! No!
I mean, well, based on the map change, it's going to be a 5-0 in the hands of the Kid News Network. Crazy performance counter from Larky in the last few seconds, though, being able to pick off quite a number of players, but it does look like they were able to cap off the final bit. And first map to the Kid News Network, 5-0. Holy crap, that was fast.
Okay.
I can't take that ending. That's done me in.
Oh god. I think we are all shocked by how Larky was able to at least body block 2 players on last. He was alone. The respawn timer was so close that even though Larky was able to hold on, the sheer numbers of Kids News Networks eventually won in the end. And my goodness me, this is not a good start for Potato Photo.
Yeah, I mean, but based on what we've been seeing, they've been slowly warming up to how to playing against the players of the Kid News Network. We've seen them slowly able to gain ground, able to grab that mid as well. So hopefully, they maintain this momentum through Snakewater as well, which is going to be the next map up. And yeah, hopefully they get their firm footing and they're able to push back into the faces of the Kid News Network players.
It's always concerning when you have, well, I mean, a 12-minute 45 5-0 ain't ideal, right? At the best of times. It's always kind of concerning when we saw that progression over the course of the game where Potato Photo, they were looking better. Each and every mid-fight, each and every team fight, really, they were looking a little bit better, but they just still had the same kind of problems. And it's great to see that progression, but the worry is that if it takes you 5 iterations to be able to fix something, I mean, the way the TF2 works, like, you don't really have time to do that. What I'd be hoping is, yeah, okay, that first map didn't go how they wanted, fine.
Yeah.
Ideally, they should be looking at things now to be like, okay, if we're having issues, if we're, doing something wrong in some of these team fights, we need to make immediate adjustments and significant adjustments as well. Not just, little things like, oh, I'll try and bomb slightly higher, or, I'll like curve away slightly and go for like a recommit. Like significant changes in how you're approaching some of these situations. Because once they managed to make that significant change, they were looking good, but they had to make like 3 tiny changes before they were able to do that,
Yeah.
They definitely have that opportunity to contest them in these fights. It isn't like they're just getting overwhelmed in terms of DM. They just need to start working a little bit differently in terms of these how they're approaching the fights.
I want to say this. Point I want to bring about that Kids News Network played discipline. Like you said, you mentioned it earlier. They played methodical. They kept every corner. They stick to their structure. Whatever the cost. Potato Photo, they don't have an answer to that discipline. They do towards the end. They have at least an answer on replying to Kids News Network's aggressiveness. But again, Kids News Network's discipline plus their aggressiveness, that's a combo that is so good that Potato Photo needs an answer on Snakewater for that.
Yeah, I think the main thing that they have to look out for right now is don't be afraid to stand on the point on last, because lately we've just been seeing them waiting in spawn or just backing way out, getting on the point when it's way too late. Only in the last bit where we saw Lucky actually stand his ground on that point. That was definitely a desperate moment, because if they lose that point, it's pretty much the map. And despite Lucky's valiant attempt of actually taking down a couple of players while defending that point, you know, he just got... in the end, they still lost that map. But if they had parked players on that point earlier, if they had put stickies down earlier as well, and I don't know, maybe even plopped the heavy there instead of having the heavy up top, it may have delayed things a little bit longer for kidz Network. But we're just gonna have to see how they decide to adapt with the aggression coming up from the kidz Network players, I guess.
Right. So we do have logs at the moment, and of course, being a 5-0, you don't really can't see too much to it. But when the damage dealers is Enrit, I show Tommy all News Network top 3 in a row. You see how Potato Photo just don't have presence on the map. They do can give a shout here and there, but again, Kids News Network eventually dominates the logs, and I just so far it's not been great.
I feel like in terms of going into Snake, obviously Snake, it's a very different approach in terms of mid. We saw a lot of things, a lot of mids from Kids News Network. It seemed like because they were playing confident, they were perfectly happy, at least in the first 2 mids, to let these Potato Photo players try and initiate into them. They weren't too worried about initiating themselves. They might send, you know, 1 soldier deep or like a random flank or something like that. But in general, the core of their team were happy just to stand basically by choke and just be like, right, our scouts are going to pound you. You're going to jump into us. We're going to like roll a couple of your players and then surge forward. On Snake, it's a little bit different. It's not quite as open. It's not quite as scout-friendly. Obviously, every map in the world is scout-friendly because it's 2019, but it's not quite as scout-friendly. There's a little bit more opportunity for kind of, you know, moving forward with your demo, as long as you can get a bit of support on point. You know, some of the bombs on Soldier are a little bit easier to do because it's not quite as open. You've got more walls and, you know, a few more things to kind of like splash against and that kind of thing. I feel like those same kind of mid-fights won't work as well for Kids News Network, and even the last pushes are going to be a little bit different, right? I'm going to give Potato Photo a bit of benefit of the doubt and just assume that, you know, they didn't quite have time to get stickies on point. I think Snake's going to be just a little bit different because you're forced to just a little bit more. But I mean, I guess we'll find out pretty soon, because it looks like we're going to be going live with map 2 now. It's going to be Snake Water.
Yep, CP Snake Water. For those of you who are just joining us, good evening. Welcome to the Pure League Grand Finals for the Prems. It is going to be the Kid News Network facing off against Potato Photo. First map went into the hands of the Kid News Network 5-0, and we are going to be on the second map for the night. Harsh is going to reach about the same time as the other demo man, and we're just going to start to see the players make their way forward. Lucky already going to start getting that high ground for his team, as will TJ. So only going to be jumping up top, and does look like the Potato Photo players seemingly, well, they don't have the high ground anymore. We're going to see Banana potentially go for some sneaky plays. Currently inside that, the kitchen, trying to toss out rockets with the faces of the Potato Photo players. Doesn't look like, once again, with both teams just playing pretty cautiously. Deep bomb straight down onto Lock. But that scout just comes in and meat shots him into the ground. That's going to be 1 solly down, 2 sollies down, and a scout. And just once again, just picking up players just surgically, and they're just pushing forward to last once again. Scout gets picked off at the lobby, and Brightside is just, Janus makes it out alive.
Oh, I'm absolutely loving this news from Kids News Network. They know all these players are down. They're taking full control of this left-hand side. Ooh. They're all the way in. Again, they haven't capped second. We saw the exact same thing on Process. They're already pressing towards point. There's no stickies towards it. They're going to focus down this Soldier just by getting the Uber on the side of Janus. They use now, but there's so much time on point. Locke has 100% of his own Uber. He can do whatever he wants. They can commit here. They can go back. It looks like they do want to commit. They're going to be taking all this position forward. They can just have it from underneath them right now. They don't even need to focus for these frags. And actually, it might be a massive blunder.
Okay.
Hey, that's greedy.
Too greedy. They were so confident on them rolling. They forgot to basically even out the odds and letting Potato Photo return the favor, leading towards their downfall.
They do look like they're going to be able to regrab second, but it's just going to delay that final point push once again. We're going to see Banana already making his way into the lobby, just bullying the players out. And the Potato Photo players just don't look like they're too keen on holding lobby or doing anything at all, despite having a pretty sizable Uber ad. I'm sorry, they don't have that Uber ad because Locke survived. Oh no.
Yeah, it's actually it's a little bit interesting at this point because there was about 8 or 9 seconds where Genesis spawned but wasn't actually healing anyone. So it is going to be significant for Lock, but how significant they won't be 100% aware. We know that it's 40, but obviously from their point of view, it could be 15, 20. But they're actually just going to fully commit through the shutter.
They're just going to go in the moment they have it. They're just going to bully them back into spawn on the right side. Janus going to see if he can juke about, but there's going to be a medic. Look, having on the point. Lucky once again, final man standing, but it's just not going to be enough. Cheeky taunt coming up from Banana, and it's just going to be first point onto the hands of kidz Network.
I like this. Sorry to cut you up there, eepily, but I like Potato Photo's attempt here. Yes, they lost in the end, but they've shown that they can capitalize from kidz Network's mistakes and potentially rebound from that. So I'm excited for the second round.
Yep, Solly once again going in for the deep bomb. He's going to get focused now by all the players turning around though. That's going to spark some small push coming in for the side of Potato Photo, but 26, his name's Tommy, is going Tommy for now. Getting a lot of pings because of that, but Tommy's going to be jumping forward, grabbing the health pack down below inside low. Demo Man's going to get picked off. Deep bomb straight down onto the medic, but Jenna serves to safety. But they're just going to not give up at all, just chasing them all the way to last, pushing them into spawn. Solly potentially going to get finished off, jumping into the right side spawn, and they're just going to get spawn camped now.
Actually a little bit interesting with all of this. Janus managed to keep that beam attached the entire time, so did actually manage to get themselves about a 50% Uber advantage. It's not enough remotely to push with, but it is going to allow them some decent position here with the massive, ridiculous chase from kidz Network. They've not even capped mid yet, right? They have to have one player on mid, so this is a significant opportunity for Potato Photo to try and get on to second. The thing is, though, the more time they waste, the more, you know, this opportunity does dwindle. I feel like if they were going to go, it kind of had to be for a bit of a trade there, but they're still scared, right? They got the fear.
Yeah, they're playing really passively for the side of the Potato Photo players. They're not even keen on contesting anything. They see a scout rushing towards them, they back out to last. They've got that Uber charge as well, so they're just seemingly content with holding on to last. Lucky's going to swap off onto Sniper to see if he can get any picks down. Hopefully we're going to see some juicy picks coming up from Lucky. But as of right now, it's potentially going to be a bit of a standoff. I want to see if Lucky can get any headshots down.
A little bit interesting to see exactly where they're holding right now. So, the side of Potato Photo, they're fairly passive now. We do see a soldier jump in. Actually, Banana somehow completely unseen. He gets one rocket on Janus. He's going to be forcing Janus. Didn't even hit the air shot, but who cares? He gets the force. He's going to be going down with Tommy/26. It's going to be kidz Network sitting nice and chill on second with that big old Uber advantage, but I mean, no spawners for another 6 seconds.
Just gonna see some of the players with Potato Photo jumping forward. They're clumped up inside that balcony. It's gonna be a juicy spot if you can bomb it and coordinate. Lock gonna get a lot of damage, gonna get the force down. But this is not gonna be good for the side of the Potato Photos. We're gonna see a shiny eye shot just walking straight through, body blocking that Demo Man and just picking him off. We're gonna see a slight red into the hands of the Potato Photo, but they don't have the Demo, they don't have a Solly, and this potentially could spark a push coming in from the players of kidz that way. They do lose heals though. Banana just gonna start standing on the point. Scout's gonna be right there as well. Solly's gonna come in to aid him. Potentially gonna see if they can get anything done, but they're just gonna get cleaned up. Lock gonna be spawning in right now into an empty spawn room, and Janet's gonna get that full charge momentarily.
Yeah, it's gonna make things much easier. Again, it was one of these scrappy little fights where kidz Network are just like, okay, we're gonna commit. Why not? You know, we're just gonna go. We're gonna see what happens. It was only really off the massive flank from one of the Potato Photo soldiers managing to pick up both the Demo and the medic on the opposing side. That kind of was the real saving grace there. It was a huge individual play, and it did manage to get them in this really nice situation now where they have this big old Uber advantage. They can look to move on to mid, you know, possibly see if they can catch someone, or really, I would honestly see if they want to try and take this a bit for free. They're already a little bit slow though. Lock 65% of his own, and Uber's getting used to a choke.
That's a pretty early pop. That's going to toss the Uber back into the hands of Lock though. Banana's going to be coming in from the kitchen. You're going to see the repush coming up on the side of the kidz Photo. Sorry, Banana just coming up from right there. Finally going to get punished for overstaying his welcome. Midpoint does look like it's going to go back in the hands of Potato Photo, but at what cost? They lost both their Sollies and pretty much full Uber going back in the hands of the kidz Network, and they're just going to start pushing back in. They potentially could get this for free actually, because the Potato Photo players, they're just going to start backing out.
Sticky Trap and some Sword Spam's actually going to pick up too, so that makes things just a little bit more difficult. They want to force Lock to using this Uber. He is going to be using it now, surging forward with Aishu, which is going to pick up Janus immediately. You can't let that happen. Not in that situation.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but the counter bombs are going to start coming out. They're going to start doing cleanup for the side of the potato photo. They're going to pick off quite a number of players. They pick up the medic as well. Janus is going to be spawning in right now. Hopefully he gets his taxi back, but both scouts are going to be at the front, so pretty much no Uber rat for them whatsoever. Janus slowly walking his way forward. No scouts going to pick him up, and Uber actually going up for the side of the kidz network first. Okay, no scout taxi.
Yeah, I don't know. That entire situation was so weird, right? Like, instantly taking down Janus is like, you know, unforgivable mistake. How can that happen? That doesn't make any sense. And then it seemed like kidz news network were like, oh, awesome, we're owning. We'll stand around after the Uber. And then he just got mulched by these bombs, right? Like, I don't know. Okay, you know, they're good, but they ain't that good. They ain't that good.
Yeah, so second point's going to go in the hands of the potato photo players. They're just going to hang tight, trying to grind out that Uber charge, as will the players for the side of the kidz news network. They've got the 7th man up. They're you know, got the sentry up. It just means they're going to start holding on that last. They don't seem too keen on pushing out as of yet, though. They're going to have a spy come and spy check to see any off classes. Aisha's going to be on that sniper role as well. So this is going to be pretty interesting for the side of kidz news network. I want to see if Aisha can get those shots.
I feel like, honestly, they can take every opportunity now to try and play a little bit forward. You know, like I said, Aishu's going to be sniping. He wants to get this position towards the right-hand side. These heals will be playing forward in the form of lock. As long as they can keep this gun, yeah, the gun's exactly where you expect this. This is kind of pretty classic forward. Only thing they're not really seeing too much is lower. Oh my... What?
Nani?
What? That was such an aggro peek coming up from Aisha, just walking out onto bridge and picking off Janus? Okay.
Yo, what the frick?
Oh,
Okay.
baby.
That's an Uber advantage now for lock. That's going to be... That's handy, those.
Okay. Well, the players on the side of the kidz were they're in no rush to push out. They got their full Uber charge, and the potato photo players are just going to show them all that respect. They're just going to slowly start making their way out, trying to see if they can get any force though, and they get a drop instead. What even is going on?
Oh my lord! They dropped! Both of them dropped! This is just chaotic all over, frags all over the place, and in the end, it's they don't have the point. They go back to what they were.
We're gonna see a scout dancing about on this midpoint though. I don't know why the players from Side Potato Photo are not too keen on pushing in though. It's just one scout. Solly's just gonna start coming in to link up, but they are gonna have that very sizable Uber ad. So they should be able to grab second, but does look like they're just going to see if they can grind it out. We're going to see Aisha already grinding out for his medic. Potato Photo players waiting. Well, they've already got mid, so they can actually slowly inch their way forward inside Saw Room. We're going to see Baxter's trying to see if he can gain some sight lines for his team. Going to see Solly jumping up top. Janus potentially going to be in a world of hurt, but the players from the side of kidz network, they're just going to start backing out slowly. TJ going to be inside Cheese, but yeah, it just looks like they're just going to start backing out to last.
That's actually a little bit sad, right? Like, they managed to take second for free. Fantastic, right? That's cool. It's actually a little bit sad with one of the scouts going down that sticky trap. They actually could have taken second for free about 25% earlier, and they could have still had Uber advantage for last. It was their little bit kind of playing slow, not quite checking for these sticky traps. These kind of little mistakes which turn... I mean, that good situation could have been better, right? They could now literally be pushing last, trying to catch Janus, you know, just before he got his... sorry, I'm trying to catch Locke just before he gets his Uber, but... I don't know, these little mistakes, they do really show, and it does just prevent the side of Potato Photo from getting serious momentum.
Yeah, Daylight tries to go in for that Solly bomb, gets quite a decent amount of damage up onto Locke, but apart from that, he's just going to be alive and well. They are going to be one Solly down though, make that banana goes down as well, so they're just going to see if they can do anything. But as of right now, it's probably just going to be another reset, another standoff. We're going to see a glitch in the STV. Why do I see Larky running around with a sentry gun? But yeah, apart from that, everything seems to be just a bit of a standoff.
Yeah, going to be keeping things nice and chill on the side of kidz news network. It does look like they're going to at least have a spy checking some classes in spawn, make things a little bit easier. So they should be 100% aware of this Potato Photo sniper who's going to be spawning up, coming on straight through Saw, and he's going to find this first opportunity to peek. Now, with Locke playing as far forward as he is in this classic little medic foothold spot, the only real opportunity you have is to go for a kind of 90-degree angle peek through the shutter. It's something which is very doable, even with that dispenser there, but they have a lot of space they have to take first. Aishu as well, He's going to be on spy, and he's going to be calling a lot of this information about the potato photo players. So it's going to be basically whether the sniper or the spy manages to find themselves a little opportunity first.
It's actually pretty clever from iShow. They don't expect the spy, and iShow can have that massive intel relay to the team, to his team in the back.
He's decloaking. He knows where the medic is as well, so he's just gonna make his way forward. Scout does spot him in the end. That's a nice spy check coming in from the side of Baxter. He's gonna be able to pick off that to spy. No damage done to the side of the potato photo players. Lucky, of course, still trying to see if he can get those aggro peaks going on, trying to see if he can move forward. Sticky's gonna be on the ground, but he's just gonna shoot it down. Lots of Stickies right there though. And he's gonna be fine though. He's just gonna be peeking around that corner, trying to see if he can get anything done, but he's just gonna get bullied up by the demo spam.
Like I said, right, so in terms of trying to get towards this lock position, oh, we do actually have a little pause, I believe. Potentially? Yeah. Or is this just me?
I think it's a tactical pause.
Weird. Oh!
Yep, there we go.
Little server problems. Oh my god, my game is collapsing.
It's Microsoft PowerPoint right now.
Oh dear.
Oh my god, and he's peeking through shutter as well. The entire game is collapsing. He's going, okay, right. He doesn't hit it. He doesn't hit it. It's not happening. We're going to be experiencing some technical problems for just a moment. No idea.
Yeah, but he does pick off. Pick off daylight. So that's not gonna. They're not gonna be pushing anytime soon. Server seems to be having some hiccups. Yeah.
It's you know, it is an exciting world we live in. We're keeping things funky, fresh. You know, you can't always move or do things in the game. In terms of what's happening right now, so equal players. This sniper I'm liking on the side of Potato Photo. It's good, you know, that they're trying to do something a little bit aggressive. They're trying to peek and prod. Ultimately, I feel like this is a trap that snipers can frequently fall into when trying to attack last on this map, where if the enemy team's forward holding, it's like you can peek as much on the left-hand side as you want. But if, like, with Kids News Network playing the way they're playing, like, you're going to get, like, a max 1 pick, which would be like a soldier, right? Which isn't really going to make much of a difference. I really think that this right side, from the attacker's point of view, is where you want to start peeking from, right? If you can get control of that, it makes things absolutely terrifying for the defending team. There's so many more angles which are opened up there. Lock is in so much more kind of dangerous a position. It's just something which is, it's more difficult to keep a hold of right than it is left. When attacking, but it's kind of that's like the high value spot you want to go with. I'm hoping that once this server stops collapsing in on itself, that's going to be what our boys on Potato Photo are going to want to start getting involved with.
Yeah, let's take back to the current from the start. Potato Photo looks so much better, except from the clown fiesta of that double medic drop. But they look so much better. They look solid. They seem to know what Kids News Network's going to be doing, and they know they can at least answer it. So while we're waiting, so far so good. If you're just joining us, we are on the second map of the Premiership Grand Finals between Potato Photo and Kids News Network. Kids News Network won process, and they are currently in a 1-0 lead over Potato Photo in Snakewater. But the server seems to have some issues, so eepily, I think it's just the both of us for now.
Yeah, you know, it's we'll just treat it as like an elongated tactical pause. You know, everyone's sitting there. You know, they're getting their drinks. They're going in the bathroom. They're deciding what big brain plays they want to make. I think it's definitely interesting seeing Snakewater. Like, yeah, it is still just about like 60-40 to Kids News Network in terms of controlling the pace of the game, but it is significantly different. Process was like everything was their way all the time. They wander around prancing, killing everyone. They do whatever they want, right?
Oh yeah.
The fact that we've seen significant punish from the side of Potato Photo already is really good, right? I also feel as well we're seeing a bit more confidence on the side of Potato Photo. Maybe it's just the fact that they like the map more, right? You know, sometimes little things like that can be significant. I feel like if they can manage to get themselves a couple of advantages and a bit of a round advantage, that confidence is going to come forward a little bit more. And obviously playing from a winning position is just so much nicer, right? The whole world is brighter when you're playing from a winning position because you know that, you know, even with like a one round advantage, it's just that little bit less scary. And I feel like the way that Potato Photo are doing things, just that build of confidence that a couple rounds gets you would allow them to far easier then be able to kind of string together a few more. Because I feel like, you know, whenever you go against a team which historically you've just lost against, like, it gets in your head, right? It's hard to break that cycle of we've lost to them before, we'll lose to them again. But when you start getting that winning position, you can be like, okay, actually, no, this sucked.
All right. So actually, I want to pull back towards that confidence. Shao was playing some overconfidence on on some of their plays.
Yeah.
Shao were making mistakes. They were aggressive at times. They were cocky at times. And Potato Photo punished those mistakes. And not to downplay Potato Photo themselves, they've been absolutely great so far. But Shao as well, they're showing cracks that pardon, Kidz News Network as well. They're showing cracks. And I believe they are swapping servers, so it was indeed a server crash, not an elongated pause. So,
you know, they can get themselves on a fresh server. You know, they've had this little opportunity to kind of take a mental reset anyway. It's not going to be the worst thing ever. Hopefully we'll be able to sort that fairly quickly. And like you said, I think it's significant, right? Whenever a team which has been pretty commanding across like a whole season, when they start to show some cracks, you know, whether it be from overconfidence or just from being tested in a way which is different to how some other teams have been testing them, it's always interesting to see, because as a team, when you're winning, you don't have to adapt in any way, right? So you can become a little bit complacent and just be like, cool, the stuff we do works every time, fantastic. But if Potato Photo can start making Kidz News Network feel a little bit uncomfortable, you know, fix some of their own problems, and then start focusing on some of the problems of the Kidz News Network, they might not be able to adapt in the same way, just because purely they haven't had to practice that much at it. I think honestly, if I was Potato Photo, that's what I would do, right? As corny and as cheesy as it sounds, I would go for that whole like minute to minute stuff, right? Get some kind of advantage, use that advantage, you know, don't worry about like the overall score for the time being, just focus on like the little things until you can start being in just a bit more comfortable of a position. It is corny though.
Yeah, I mean, based on what we've been seeing so far, they're slowly getting their ground. You know, they're punishing Kidz News Network as and when they are to be punished. They're slowly getting the hang of things, and that's definitely what I want to see. Is it too late though? Definitely not. You know, we're only on the second map of the night. They're only 1 point up as well. Still plenty of time for them to turn things around. Compared to what we saw in process, like you mentioned, it is going to be a slightly more even game. The Kidz News Network players still do have somewhat of an upper hand sometimes, but they've been pushing back. They've not been making it easy for the players of the Kidz News Network.
now with this, okay, so we're moving towards a new server. It gives time for both teams to rebound, discuss their mistakes, take notice of what went wrong, what went good, and how they are going to react to that. So it's now with this new map, with this fresh start, will we see Potato Photo keeps the pressure, or will Kidz News Network go back to their process performance?
I think they're just going to continue playing the way they've been playing so far, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. They've been doing pretty well for themselves, so they may just try to see if they can maintain aggression, maintain everything, and just continue to plow on through. But yeah, I mean, really, the main thing is just for the Potato Photo players to see if they can try to you know, just stop giving up points, I guess.
Yeah, I think you know, capping points as opposed to losing them is definitely like optimal.
It's a better
Like, you know,
choice.
that's like, it is overall a better strategy. I'm now seeing a funky, fresh, brand new server with funky, fresh players getting themselves in. So from the looks of things, should be able to start moving on forward pretty soon. I believe we were something along the lines of 13, 14 minutes into the game, so just under halfway through. So there's still a lot of time to play with. And like I said, only one round. It ain't all that significant. So
Yep.
hopefully we should be able to get started pretty soon, as I believe we have 12 players in the server. Oh, I'm feeling it. I'm all excited now. It's going to be it. We're going to do it.
And I've been told that they're just going to start off with a mid-fight once again, so to kick things off with another mid-fight instead of getting to positions and stuff. So I think both teams have agreed to that. They're going to hold second. Oh, no, they're changing. All right, the Kids News Network players are going to hold second with equal Ubers for both sides. So that's going to be the situation that they're going to set up as. So while we wait for that to happen, yeah, it does look like everyone's already in the server and stuff. So should be starting momentarily once everyone's all sorted out.
I believe there was a situation, right, this is a complete tangent. There's a situation in, for any Counter-Strike fans out there, I think it's a good couple years ago, where they had a very similar situation. There was a server which broke down, but they were about 7 rounds in. So they apparently didn't have access to the server to change any of the money or any of, you know, the stats of the game. So they went and piece by piece recreated every single frag and movement of 7 rounds to make sure everyone had the same money. And it was literally the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's a little bit unfortunate that in TF2 you don't get that in the same way, because I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. Actually, no. I hit a 102 meat shot there. It wasn't 98. Actually, I'll have you know.
You can't really recreate the level of detail on the CSGO match, a tactical shooter, compared to TF2, which is bunkers off the wall. So it'll be interesting to see. So again, run by me again. I believe Potato Photo is going to hold mid.
No, they're going to be holding second. I think the Potato Photo was on second, were they not? Or was it the
I think they were on
network?
second. I think they were on second at one point.
Yeah, so one of them is going to be on second, and they're both going to have that equal Ubers, and yeah, just going to wait for them to set up.
I'll be honest, right? What I'm thinking as a filthy European pleb, I'm kind of thinking, how many rounds do you need to go down on Snakewater before you bring out heavy to mid, right? Because it's everywhere. It's everywhere across Europe. It is like swept across Europe like a plague, right? There's rats covered with like little heavies, right? Like all over the entire continent. And I feel like it's almost quite funny. I've seen a really large number of teams try it and a really large number of teams like fail doing it. But I kind of want to see it this game. Like if you go 3 rounds down in any game, I think you are almost morally obligated to do something really weird and cheesy on a mid, right? I feel like the heavy to mid on Sunshine, not Sunshine, Snakewater even. I don't think we're gonna see it, but I think we should see it. If I was, you know, whatever team goes a few rounds down, I'd do it instantly. That's just because I don't know how I like ruining the game for people.
No, it's a matter of mentality. It's a matter of mentality. So we'll see if either team will go on some weird flex classes. All I want is a flex spiral. So that's going to be on hold at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see how they will rebound, how they will set up a new strategy, and I want to see more creativity actually. Again, Larky on Sniper was actually doing decent. I show with this one of the craziest pick I ever see. It shows that Asia has that creativity, and I want to see it happen right here, right now.
I'm sure we will. Both, yeah. I'm getting pinged by TJ, letting me know that they'll be starting momentarily. But yeah, this is going to be the second map of the night. A bit of just a couple of server issues earlier on. For those of you just joining us, we are going to be on the second map of the night, Snakewater. First map, CP Process went 5-0 in favor of the Kids News Network. Currently, we are sitting on a 1-0 in favor of the Kids News Network again, but the night is still young. The Potato Photo players are definitely putting the best foot forward for this, and everyone's going to be sorting themselves out. We're going to see the countdown coming up as well, and we should be going live momentarily. We're going to see the teams probably going to start setting up as in where they were. Both teams are going to have that full Uber charge, sorry, and they're going to get into their positions. I believe the Kids Newz Network are going to be holding on to last, while the Potato Photo players are going to be moving forward to capture that second point. So this is going to be the live one. It's going to be 15 minutes left on the clock, so once the timer reaches 15, that's going to be it for this map. So that's the timings and the arrangements that they have agreed on, and does look like it's yeah. So the positions that they're going to be sorting out are Potato Photo is going to be holding on to mid, and second point is going to be in the hands of Kids Newz Network, because I believe the STV went down before we saw that happen when they pushed out. So both teams going to hold on to their recharge, and they're just going to hang tight on these positions.
This is nice. This is like the relaxing part of the game, you know. Everyone's just going to build up the Uber.
Yeah.
No one's going to do any BM like, you know, random bombs in. We're just going to have about, you know, 5-6 seconds for people to decide what they can do. Oh, that's rude. He's a bad person. Enra's a bad person.
Enra, where's your honor? Where's your honor there?
Well, I guess it's just,
Disgusting.
I guess it's just going to start right now.
Oh well.
Yep, so everyone's both sides, they've got Uber. They're just going to be ready right now. And yeah, so Kids Newz Network holding on to second. We've got the Potato Photo players holding on to mid. We've got roughly about 13 minutes, under 14 minutes left on the server clock before we call it a map. And yeah, everyone's just going to be hanging tight. Daylight just going to spam some rockets through the storeroom. Apart from that, everyone's just going to be a bit of a standoff.
Yeah, it is going to be pretty chill, pretty standard holding as well for both teams. Nothing too crazy. We do see Enrith playing towards the side of Saw instead of Window, which is, it's more or less a kind of, you know, a decision teams make. Like, sometimes you'll have your demo on grass, sometimes you'll have him in the direction. He is going to be picking up Harsh, which does make things a little bit easier. There's now no stickies on the side of Potato Photo, which makes going through any single doorway so much easier. And they want to make something pretty aggressive happen off this. They're already actually starting to move through the doorway here. Lock's taking a decent little bit of spam, but Enrith actually managing to take a lot of space. This is really, really bad at Potato Photo. Don't want to at least want to try and commit towards some kind of trade here. They're playing these kind of middle rounds to try and at least make it a little bit easier. They do want to trade. They're actually backing up completely.
Yeah.
That's a lot of respect to give. I don't know about that, guys.
Yeah, they seem to be playing really passively when they know that Ubers are equal, so it's not really what I would encourage, I guess. Just be a little bit more aggro. Lock does get a stray rocket coming from across the map, but apart from that, nothing much else gonna get done. Gonna see Nev, I believe, gonna get pushed back out and just easily pushing them all the way to the last. No space given, like, didn't even stand their ground.
I feel like they threw away that mid, and as a result, then when you lose two, you kind of have to give away second. Like, they're so terrified of going for like an equal trade. It seems really, really weird. Like when you have an Uber and you're one player down, you basically don't have a player down, because the trading of that Uber allows you enough time to get your spawner in to then play 6v6 in like the post Uber fight. That's literally how the game works, and somehow it's just not how Potato Photo think at all. Now we're going to see some big spam being traded, but it is actually Potato Photo getting 2 frags to the 1 of Kids Newz Network. So once again, it's a bit of an opportunity for them. They can peek and prod wherever they want. They're leaving two little players in different. Oh my god, they're going for a solo trade.
Oh.
Yep. Gonna see the Sully try to see if he can get anything to run, but he's gonna get scattershot out of the sky. Baxter gonna be right there to distract everybody. Survives quite a long time, but Janice does make it out alive. Ubers were traded relatively about the same time. I think quite a bit of flashing going on to the side of the Kids Newz Network, so they're gonna have equal Ubers in the end. But right now, it does look like they're just going to waltz straight in. TJ just coming in from the left side. Solly bomb straight down, potentially going to bully them back into spawn. Janice trying his very best to stay at the front lines to keep his teammates up and healthy, but they're all just getting collapsed on. Janice in no range at all whatsoever, tries to arrow his teammate, does so, lands a nice arrow, but not enough to keep him alive. Scout just inches his way on the point, and Daylight not able to stand on it, bring the score 2-0 in favor of the Kids Newz Network.
That was an absolute nuke last push from Enrith. I think I saw him hit like, I don't know, probably about 500 or 600 damage there in total. He was absolutely pounding in terms of that last push. And it's just, I don't know, Potato Photo, they seem to just want to give things away just way too easily.
Another mid fight gonna be on the way. We're gonna see some Solly bombs coming down, but he's gonna get bullied out. Daylight gonna see if he can join in. Spots locked, but can't land that finishing blow. We're gonna see some spam coming up from the side of Potato Photo, but the Scout Aisho just single-handedly keeping them at bay. And they just clumped up in that corner. That's not a happy corner to be in. Lucky gonna eat a lot of damage. Medic gonna be able to bring him up back into the healthy range. You're gonna see Nev right there on the left side, high ground. Spots Lock tries to rain down those rockets, but the scatter shots are gonna be too strong. Lucky trying to see if he can stand his ground on the front lines, but it's just gonna be the scout and the demo man together with the medic at the front lines, and the two scouts just bullying them all the way out. Lock is gonna be a little bit alone, but 26 is gonna link up with him. The scout's gonna be right there. TJ's gonna be there as well. Only 3 players up, make that 4. 5, everyone's linking back up at the front lines for the side of kidz Newz Network. The middle point is still up for grabs. It is going to be in the hands of the Newz Network right now. Slowly going to be pogoing up across. Tommy jumping up to the gates on high ground, but everyone's just going to be tossing damage at each other. Not much focus fire going on, but Banana's going to be coming in from behind, potentially going to be able to pick up the scout. Scout does spot him in the end. Daylight going to be right there, really low. Banana finally going to go down trades together with the other scout. Uber's going to get popped from both sides, but nothing much going to get done for the side of the potato photos.
That's your classic, like, 2-minute mid-fight. Absolutely great stuff to see. There was so much milking on the side of Janus that actually a couple of players just got 2-2 split. They managed to lose too many in that little trade, and now they're losing another on second. This is the same kind of situation where they were almost quite greedy. They wanted to just keep a hold of things, and they end up losing players as a result. It was just too much of a commit there. Didn't really work. Now they're going to be losing control a second as well. Thankfully, they do get the spawners, and it is going to be equal Ubers for a bit of a last hold. But this is starting to get to that scary point of the game where the timer is ticking and you're still 2 rounds down. We see the deep bomb from Tommy this time. 1 rocket on Janus. Not be enough to be getting any kind of frag though. And they're going to be losing the demo now as well. 3 players down on the side of kidz Newz Network. Only 2 scouts and 1 medic. So second should be theirs to control as long as they can just move forward and deny anyone from getting through these choke points.
Yep, going to see them pretty good plays coming up for the side of the potato photo players. They're going to be able to grab this second point. We're going to see some players for the side of the kidz Newz Network. They're going to be right there though. Banana's going to come in from the catwalk though. Janus maybe in the world of hurt, but the Ubers are going to get traded at this small tiny corridor. Aisha with the body blocks, not letting them push out whatsoever. Ubers essentially negated for the side of potato photo, and this is going to be the counter collapse coming in, and they're just falling onto all the players of potato photo. Demoman going to get ragdolled into the side. Full wipe. God. And oh boy, potential easy last point with Janus on that 12-second respawn timer.
Yeah, no one's alive. That's gonna be a last. Good God, that was brutal. That push on the second was brutal. You saw the second that soldier got deep, and there was all those potato focus players just standing on point, all clumped up together. It's like, nah, like you don't live there. I'm sorry, you don't live there. No one does.
3-0 in favor of the kidz Newz Network players. We are going to be in roughly about 12 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Sorry, not even 12. 7 minutes left on the clock. Mid-fight going to be underway. We're going to see some scouts darting about. Once again, another deep solid on Lock. Just going to eat 1 rocket, but he's going to be fine. Demoman going to double me-shotted by Lucky, just walking on through. Daylight spots the medic, the Solly. And it's just going to be a lot of fights going on, a lot of tiny fights everywhere. Banana jumping forward to see if he get any work done, but it is going to be like the fact that they can just push Potato Photo off the midpoint and they can just stand there and get some caps time up while the Potato Photo players are just slowly backing out, clumping up at that storeroom door. Why?
It's really weird to see there's so many of these situations. Now, finally, we do see a little bit of this middle ground kind of paying off a little bit for Potato Photo. Looks like they will. I mean, they can get towards point. They seem so terrified of it still. They don't actually even get forward enough to be able to get any real space. And now they're losing so many players because the rest of their flanks trying to come in. They're like, right, boys, we're on point. We're gonna go. We're gonna frag. But this combo's playing too far back, and they're getting forced. Oh, this Uber is... There's no way, right? Like, it literally is absolutely nothing at all. All these players on the side of kidz Newz Network's just gonna absolutely just, like, chill, get their players, get their heals, whatever. Now James is going down again, multi in this corner. This is just bad to worse for the side of Potato Photo. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is shades of process once again, where they given so much respect to kidz Newz Network that they don't have any confidence on try pushing forward. This is going disastrous all of a sudden from the first half of Snakewater.
They're doing a pretty bang-up job of defending the last point though. They managed to get a level 1 sentry up in time. Scout was in a sneaky spot, Sentry wasn't able to get him, but the Solly did go in and finish the job. They are going to start capping second though. The players for the side of the kidz Newz side, where they're going to start kind of pushing back in. They don't have that Uber, so if they pick up Janus, it's going to be an easy last
this is
push.
a nuke Uber. This is such a nuke Uber right now. They pick up one there. He managed to trade two between them. They do actually have a scout behind them, but there's just surging forward. Janus has gone down as well. There's absolutely nowhere. Oh my god! What a king!
My goodness me!
Okay, that went actually way better than I expected. I thought that was going to be like sheer disaster, but they actually managed to get out of that basically okay. There's going to be about a 12% advantage for Lock, but they're going to keep control of second and... Okay, no, they still got it. They're still fighting.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what's backing off.
Yeah, there's 5 minutes, a little under 5 minutes left on the clock. It's not a lot of time, but it's not impossible for them to scrap out 2 points. But if they want to do that, they got to start moving. They got to pump up the aggro. But right now, they just seem content with holding on to this second point. They can't really afford to do this, though. They're grinding out their recharge as fast as they can. But the players for the side of the kidz set, where they're doing the exact same thing. So it's not impossible, but it's gonna be really, really tight.
They need to up the gear. Potato Photo needs to up the gear fast if they want to at least get 2 or 3 rounds, because pause?
Is it a pause?
I think it is a pause. So we got a pause, and coming with what I'm saying is, now Potato Photo at a crossroads. Either they are going to concede and go defensive for the last time, or they want to go to gear 11 and try reclaiming at least one or two rounds there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible for them to claw out a couple of rounds, but honestly, based on how they've been playing, how they've been performing, they're playing really, really passively quite a lot of the time, and it's gonna be tough if they really want to continue on. They have to start doing what they need to do. We're gonna see 26 with a deep bomb coming straight down onto Janus. Janus just catching every single rocket with his forehead, and that's gonna be a full recharge for the side of the kidz News Network. And they just potentially just once again clean up and walk straight to last. But okay, they pick up Lock. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh my! There's just a player just
They
standing on left. I
Oh,
don't
no.
understand what's happening. Okay, they're getting rolled.
Yeah.
Is this
No idea.
a point cap or
No, it's 4-0 now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so they'll be playing for the next a little under. Not sure if my server timer is correct, but about 3 or so minutes left on the clock though. So another mid-fight going to be on the way. Phenomenal performance once again coming up from the side of kidz News Network, just jumping and picking off Janus. Poor little Solly. Huh?
What is going on anymore?
I don't know. I think there was like a pause bug or something. So they both sides gonna have that 50% recharge. It's just a standard bug thingy, you know, where you get to recharge without doing anything. But yeah, both sides got 50, so it does look like they both agreed to continue playing with this. It's just a little under 3 minutes left on the clock though, with 4-0 in favor of the kidz News Network. They are going to be able to grab this midpoint with the players of Potato Photo, trying to see if they can gain some ground, trying to see if they can push up from that storeroom. Janus going to be in that corner, and they're just going to walk up together with a scout. Both teams got there to recharge as well, so we are potentially going to see a trade, which we do on this midpoint. But 26 is going to be coming from behind, just facing off against Larky right there. And everyone is just falling for the side of Potato Photo. They do pick up Lock though, but it may be too little too late with them just pushing them all the way back to second.
I feel like at this point there's one of two things which is going to happen. Either you surge forward, you try and get every single frag for the sake of getting a sympathy round, or you surge forward and try and get every single frag for the sake of your logs, right? Like,
Yeah.
You know, there's a legendary gentleman TCM fight at this point would say, no, can't be done, not possible, can't be done, never been done before, don't even worry about it. This is absolute pure 2 minutes of just add some stats, get some air shots, and this is like the frag clip time. I think it was Kermit was saying the other day, this is a time where you just go for all the frag clip threads and then say, well, it was unofficial, right? This,
Yeah,
It
technically.
counts.
Yeah, see?
It counts.
Exactly, it counts. That's smart, you know. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of a sad day for your boys on Potato Photo. They're going to be sitting there a little bit rough.
Eepily, we can get that creativity thing you wanted there if they can.
It's true, yeah, dude. Huntsman. For real, Huntsman. It's the best. It's the best gun in the game. You don't have to aim.
That's true.
But
Yeah, seemingly gonna be having some technical issues again. So we will be putting things on a short hold for a bit. Teams are just gonna try to see if they can sort out their server stuff. Just once again, some more issues plaguing the servers. But yeah, getting news from the side of the Kids News Network, they'll be swapping servers again. So we're just gonna have to wait for everything to be reset up, and before we can continue.
all right, so we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and unfortunately, we do have news that the server has been plagued with some DDoS issue, and it will be the best interest for the players that they will play it out until the end, and we will cut the stream soon. But uh, the Snakewater map have just played out, so we're going to look at the logs for that. So that's unfortunate, but now we can at least dissect the logs from the Snakewater match.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same kind of situation as before. Ultimately, where it was one team being in a pretty commanding position. Kids News Network, they were looking good. They were looking happy. They were looking confident in everything. So again, it definitely was. It was far more back and forth than process was. Even if the score wouldn't necessarily reflect that, there was definitely some good stuff going on both teams. Having a little look at the old pure stats right now, kind of looks like Aishu kind of farmed a little bit. The old 18-5 top damaging on a server on the scout class. It really felt like, I don't know, the scouts on the side of Kids News Network were one of the biggest issues that Potato Photo couldn't really deal with. Like on all these mid fights when they're jumping deep soldiers in, they're trying to get like really aggressive bombs or try and move across point. They never really had a solution for these scouts. They either couldn't tag them enough or get them kind of out of position or anything along those lines. So I feel like it was really both Aishu and TJ. They just could kind of do whatever they want, really.
They dominate.
Yeah, definitely. And just so much fragging coming up for the side of Aishu as well. Just that 3.6 KD, oh baby. And of course that juicy medic drop with that aggro peak, just walking straight out and just headshotting poor Janice right there in the corner. Unfortunate, but good frag, good frag.
I need to take a moment just to mention that Aishu had 86% accuracy.
Hey,
What?
I mean,
That is sick. Dude's actually crazy.
yeah.
Is that legal? Can they do that?
It always has been the consensus that Aishu is one of the better performing scouts in Asia, and that is certainly a testament towards that.
Yeah.
We can't deny it. Again, it's a bit sad that we won't see the match until the end. Potato Photo, again, ignoring the 5-0, they are looking so much better compared to process, even with the shaky towards the end. But for now, we're just going to hope for the best, and we're going to see you, I guess, next season. I guess. Right. So, eepily, anyone you want to call out for the end of the stream here?
I'll give a little shout out to the players in the teams. Hopefully, hoping that even being played in a slightly different situation, hoping Potato Photo can find some good plays in the remainder of their games. But no, shout out to you guys for bringing me in. A little bit last minute. It's nice to do some stuff over in Asia, and shout out to the entirety of European TF2. It's a lot of people. Shout out to all of you.
All right, up to you. Next up, Alex.
Yeah, shout out to the teams for playing. Thank you for putting on a good show. Shout out to Core, of course, for always helping us out with all the wonderful production. Shout out to eepily for hopping onto the casting panel as well. Thank you for helping out in our little baby Asian scene. And yeah, shout out to Concorde for hopping onto the panel as well. Shout out to all my buddies hanging out inside Twitch chat, and shout out to the TF2 community in general.
All right, I think that's leave me. Shout out to Core again, production guru of TFLIVE. Really clutching it in situations. Shout out to eepily and Alex, the caster duo that has been commenting the match so far until the end. And shout out to the people on Twitch chat. Shout out to the Asian TF2 community, the larger TF2 community. I think that's it from us, and we'll see you whenever the next season of Asian Competitive TF2 will be. And I think that's it from us.
Yep, cheers.